You've come to the right place for Broadway's brightest stars, biggest shows, and amazing musical performances. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and it's The Broadway Show. Here we go. Two strangers carry a cake across New York. That's both the title and premise of a new Broadway musical.
New York, I'm already talking the talk.
So where you headed, by the way?
New York, baby!
Two strangers carry a cake across New York might just be the perfect show for this Valentine's weekend. I sat down with one of the stars of Two Strangers, Christiane Pitts. Well, it's good to see you.
It's great to see you.
It's been a bit.
So great to see you. Yeah, it's been a minute.
But you've been having a good time, right?
Oh, yeah. Most fun I've ever had on stage.
Really? Mm-hmm. Talk about the show. First, the title of the show, Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York, always makes me kind of, smile when I say it. Talk to me about, if somebody hasn't seen it, what surprises them and what they should be prepared for.
I think people leave surprised about just how hard they laughed and like the release that they had. And the show is described as like a rom-com, which I think is sweet to get people there, but it's a little misleading because it's like so much more than that. It explores like deeper levels of people's humanity, of the choices that these people are making, and it's really funny. And I think people leave the show feeling like, I did not know I was gonna laugh that hard. I thought I was gonna have the cutesy romantic experience, but it's not that. It's like, it's silly, it's serious at the same time. I think people are surprised by that like gut reaction.
Follow my stride, just follow my stride. I'm Bonnie, you're Clyde, you're Bonnie, you're Clyde.
When you first heard about it, it first came across your desk or your computer or your email, what did you think upon reading it?
I loved it. And I only read the first half and I didn't know that. I thought I finished the script. And so I read it on the plane on my way to New York for the audition for it. And I finished the script.
Wait, you read it on the plane on the way to the audition?
Mm-hmm. Well, the audition was like 2 days later, but I live in Georgia.
Oh my
so I
gosh.
had to fly to New York.
You had that little amount, I didn't even know that you did it that fast of a turnaround?
Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, this is good. And in my director meeting, he's talking about the script and I'm like, and I love the open-ended nature. Like, I love how it ends and we don't really know. And he was like, well, no, we do know. It was so good that I only finished half of it and was like, this is one of the best things I've ever read. It's just it's so fast and smart and like witty. So when I read the first half, I was hooked.
Now, it's just the two of you, is that right?
The two of us, yeah.
So what is that like? I mean, that is a close relationship and you're barely leaving the stage.
You know, it is only the two of us, but we also have the band on stage, which is awesome because we can work with them, laugh with them. There's a moment in the show where I'm referencing a character who's not there, but our music director pretends to be the character sometimes. So we have like little moments like that. And also the other characters in the show who you don't see are so fleshed out that you feel their presence, you feel their energy. People leave the show having really interesting reactions to the people who aren't even there, which I think is credit to the writers.
That says a lot.
Yeah, so it is just us two, but the world feels a lot bigger than that.
How much cake have you had since November, or when were you in Boston? You were in Boston when?
Oh, we were in Boston over the summer. I've had more cake than I can even talk about. But I eat it every time.
You do?
You think at some point you'd be like, I think I've had enough. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat the cake.
Who provides the cake?
Magnolia provides her cakes.
Well, then you can't not eat it.
It's so good. I think we have we're lucky, I think, to have like a partnership with them. So I've had my fair share of red velvet, and I'm down to eat any of the cakes that they provide. I'm gonna taste it.
Magnolia Bakery here, cupcakes especially, but great. Six is getting some brand new queens in the castle. TikTok star Dylan Mulvaney making her Broadway debut in the Pop Concert Spectacular. Here's Paul Wontorek with more.
Dylan, I'm so happy to see you.
Finally.
So how's it going in rehearsal?
Girl,
How are the girls?
my God. They're unreal. And I actually think what is so true about the show is it's triple threats, like true triple threats, because it is insane how, in one moment you're the leading lady and you have to, sell it to the audience and embody your character and sing these insane notes. And then the next moment you're like Beyonce's backup dancer. And it is so precise, and I am such a perfectionist. And I think that's really important for this show because it's not wildly fluid. It's very specific. I want to make myself proud. I want to make trans people proud. I want to make my followers proud. I want to make my mom proud. She's coming to my first night. So I think that hopefully I'll nail it.
So why is this a great first Broadway show for you?
Well, I think some people might consider me to be a slightly polarizing woman.
Sure.
And I'm playing Anne Boleyn, who famously was also quite polarizing. And I think there's something really beautiful about getting to embody this woman who was a little bit ahead of her time and I think a lot of it misunderstood. I feel like me and Anne, in a much smaller scale for me, of being sort of blown up in the media and having people take your story and used against you and misinterpreted. And so I think the song Don't Lose Your Head is actually really on brand for me, because there's so many people in this world that I would love to just be like, I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just trying to be me. You know, please don't freak out about somebody just embodying who they truly are. And I think for Anne, I think that was a woman who was really smart. She wanted to be educated. She wanted to feel powerful. She wanted to have a voice. And that got her into some not so great situations. I'm hoping that I can take what I've been through these past few years and bring it into the character.
One thing I kind of noticed is when things got tough, when there were a lot of people out there sharing their opinions of
Yeah.
you, and I was nervous about how you would, handle something like that. I noticed that's when you started coming around the Broadway community a bit more. I started seeing you at openings. You were at
Yes.
the Tony Award after
That's-
party every
well,
year, and I
that's-
felt like, oh, she's going towards where she knows the family is.
That is where I feel my safest still. And I think I just really want all trans people to feel like they have a space here, and queer people. And I think what's so crazy is the way I might have been sending fan letters to Jackie Hoffman and Kristen Chenoweth and all these people growing up. I'm now getting those messages from actually the day that this got announced that I was doing this, I got a few messages from kids around the country being like, I wasn't gonna audition for the show at my school because I'm trans, but now getting to see you do that makes me think that I can too, so I'm gonna audition. And I think that makes me so happy to know that someone can do whatever it is they want to do, and that our identities or who we truly are isn't gonna stop us just because of other people's perceptions.
Opening night at the Lena Horne Theater,
Yes.
you're in that fabulous costume, you're ready to go on. What are the emotions going to be? How is that first night going to feel? Your mom's in the audience.
My dad, all my best friends are flying in. I think that, it makes me want to cry thinking about it. I think it will be a testament to moving forward. I think I've always, through all of the pain, I've moved forward. And no matter, if I mess up that night or if I get a word wrong, I think the fact that I am there is the win, and I'm gonna give the best show that I can. I just want to make sure little Dylan knows how proud I am of them, and hopefully that kid is proud of me. I think it's gonna be a good night.
The final season of Stranger Things, now streaming on Netflix, but a Stranger Things prequel has turned Broadway upside down. Let's head it out now to Charlie Cooper with a look.
Join us on a walk to the theater's epic front of house.
Well, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm gonna give you the audience POV of what people will see when they come see Stranger Things: The First Shadow. So we're
Love
gonna
that.
start at the escalator, and then we're gonna go to the Ookie Spooky Creel House.
What's it like for you to come up these escalators and do your thing every day?
You know what? It's insane because I don't really see the front ever. I go through the stage
Ah,
door. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
am also getting an experience that I don't usually have, just to come through the front and see all of the beautiful entrance work that our crew has created.
And when you get up here, it's just so dark and spooky
And gloomy and spooky,
yes.
but it's also just iconic, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, we've got Stranger Things: The First Shadow right here, like right in your face. I'm a huge Stranger Things fan, so to see anything related to the show affiliated with myself, like I freak out.
Yeah.
So it's really just show-stopping every time I see it.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that you're getting the opportunity to play Patty.
Yes.
And this is a prequel. Does
It
it kind
is.
of change the way that you approach the scripting and the performance and all of that stuff?
Yeah, so I'll take you way back. So originally I got an email that said Stranger Things Broadway. self-tape audition. I was like, never gonna book this. I'm not a Broadway girly. I grew up doing television. And long story short, I ended up going through that whole process, and they brought me to a 7-hour callback in New York City,
Oh my God.
which I didn't know was gonna be 7 hours, and they had me do the entire play as a one-woman show, all of the Henry and
Insane.
Patty scenes. And what I didn't know at that time was that we were rewriting the script at that time to be tailored to myself. Because they did the show in the West End, and Patty was very different, and I just had very strong opinions about who Patty was and what her relationship with Henry Creel was, and that's kind of the version of the show that you see now. So to be able to create Patty from the ground up and have a say in the Henry and Patty storyline, it's incredible. I mean, look, you've got the scary boy
know.
staring at us through the window. He's always watching, and that's Patty Newby's man right there. So
I love that.
It's
I
been
love that.
amazing. Yeah,
you
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of touched on the fact that, TV was your jam.
Yeah, it was.
And you became a star on TV on
Thanks.
Nickelodeon. And I want to know a little bit more about just your transition, and were there habits that you had to break that you maybe used in that realm that maybe it wouldn't serve you very well here, or vice versa?
I love to take my time when I act. Now, Stranger Things: The First Shadow is a 3-hour-long play. We gotta get it out. You
Right.
gotta know the story. You gotta hear the lines. There's no time to be mugging for the camera. What do they call it? Mewing when you suck
Yeah.
your cheeks in and do the whole thing. Yeah, no time for that. So that was a habit I kind of had to break, because I like to kind of think in a scene and really receive what the other actor is saying, and I just had to learn a different way of doing that. When I was a kid, I did a show called All That. It was the reboot. It really taught me how to think on my feet, because we would get these sides right before we would go shoot. Sometimes we would be playing a character on Monday, and then on Friday, on our shoot day, it'd be a totally different sketch, night and day different. If I were playing Beyonce on Monday, you might be playing Beyonce on Friday. It might be a
Insane.
totally different thing. And that really helped me with Stranger Things, because when we were in previews, it would be kind of a similar thing. We'd be rehearsing during the day, and then at night, we would have to put in whatever changes into the show, into a live performance from 2,000 people that you don't get to take two for.
This show
Yeah.
definitely has some themes of otherness and belonging, or lack thereof. And as a woman of color playing
Yeah.
this role, can you kind of talk about how that resonates with you, perhaps in this industry?
Yeah, I think that specifically biracial representation is key, and it's a really beautiful lens that we get to look through. Kate Treefryer, our writer, was very specific about, because we are telling a story in the 1950s, staying true to what that looked like in America, but also paying homage to Hawkins. It's been a blessing to be able to represent that on stage.
The jazz age is still alive and well on Broadway in the smash Broadway musical, The Great Gatsby. Here's Beth Stevens with another edition of Building Broadway for us.
Well, Mark, here we are at the Broadway Theater.
Pre-show.
The Great Gatsby, the novel, F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel, is over 100 years old now.
Yeah.
It's on the syllabus in high schools and has been for 70 years.
So many people know it.
Everybody thinks they know it.
Everyone thinks they know it. What we found in seeing audiences come and see the show is that a lot of them may not have read past about page 40, because there's so many surprises that they find in the plot of the show. We have audiences that gasps to all of the revelations that happen in Act 2, and seeing people think they know, and they remember the vibe, the parties, but they forget what the show is actually about, or what the novel is actually about. And so what we tried to do in creating the show was sort of create this sense of opulence, the sense of being dropped into the middle of the 1920s, and what it must have felt like to be amidst all of that glamour, and then to have Act 2 where we sort of pull the rug on that and let the audience see what is underneath, and to see what the cost is of that reaching.
Casting is so central to every production, but this one specifically, what are you looking for in the casting room?
There's a sense of icon that
Yeah.
comes with all of these characters. Also, we were very aware from the beginning of making sure that the cast that you're seeing on stage reflects the audience that's coming to see it. We were not out to do a museum piece, and so
there's diversity.
So there's a tremendously diverse cast, and Dom Kelly, the choreographer, also has one foot in the present and one foot in the past. And the idea was to depict the 1920s, but everything old is new again. And so those dance steps that were very, very popular in the 20s have been remixed and remade in subsequent decades. And so he has done a great job of creating dances that ended up becoming a TikTok dance craze that are very much rooted in the 1920s dance forms, but very much have something to say to audiences today.
We have to talk about the national tour, because you're getting the opportunity after doing it here on Broadway, in the West End, in Korea. You're getting to take it on the road, and that brings a lot of different moving parts, right?
Absolutely. It's an entirely new company of people who are finding the story together. I think the exciting thing about a tour is the accessibility of it, and being able to bring this story to so many people who may not be able to get to New York and who are able to see it in their hometown. We have every bit of the opulence that we have on Broadway on the tour. They're seeing an absolutely first-class version of this story told in a way that very much mimics what we're doing here at the Broadway.
Thanks so much for sticking around. I'm Tamsin Fidel. This week we're back with another incredible community initiative with the help of our friends at The Outsiders. The Stay Gold Project is designed to keep young people at the heart of the theatrical experience.
It is truly the best feeling in the world to know that something I was part of making is reaching more people. We have these incredible student matinees. They often are like the most lively performances, and they feel like rock concerts.
Through partnerships, The Outsiders provide students with subsidized tickets, classroom resources tied to the show, and the team even asked for feedback from a dozen New York City high school students during the early rehearsal process.
Teenagers are the most honest audience that one can have. And so seeing them moved by the show was really powerful. And we also had them fill out questionnaires because a lot of them were reading the book as well. And so I feel like they've been an instrumental part of how we've built the show and who we're looking to make it for.
S.E. Hinton's iconic novel has long been a formative story for high school students across the country, and this program promises to help keep that tradition alive.
Being a kid is hard, and nothing is more important than seeing yourself in something, and it's cool that this show does that for a lot of kids, and I'm so grateful that the Stay Gold Project gives other kids opportunities to see it who might not have been able to see it ever.
Now with the North American tour underway, The Outsiders and Broadway Across America are expanding the Stay Gold Project to schools across the country, creating new opportunities for students to connect with live theater in meaningful ways, right in their own neighborhoods. The powerful production is coming soon to a city near you, and you don't want to miss it.
My name is Natasha Yvette Williams. I'm currently playing Madame Morrible in Wicked on Broadway. This Black History Month, and always, I would love to give a shout out to Miss Lorraine Hansberry, who is the author of A Raisin in the Sun. And it was the first time that Black lives were depicted in a humane kind of way on Broadway. She sort of changed the landscape about Black people's experience and bringing that to the forefront on Broadway. And I just want to salute her for that historical moment, because we're sort of living in the tentacles of that right now, with a lot of opportunity for Black playwrights and Black creatives to have their stories told and to tell our stories. It changed the landscape of how people thought about Black people. I'm so grateful because of being able to see Black people on stage. I'm a Black actress. I went to the theater and I saw things that reflected me and let me say, oh, I can do that. Wicked has opened up a whole new world. The phenomena of the movie and the phenomena of the show that has lasted 23 years is quite amazing. One of the things that has really affected me has been Ali Trim and Lencia singing For Good. I started a little series talking about good moments, good forever, and those things that last. And those are the things that we're talking about now in terms of these history makers.
Because I knew you
things now that are good moments that will be lasting forever. Lindsay is doing that now too in somebody's life as they watch her and in mine. So that's what I'm grateful for.
That's all for now, but if you're looking for tickets and more exclusive content, well, head on over to Broadway.com. Until next time, I'm Tamsin Fidel, and this is The Broadway Show.